IT follows business. So why is everyone still doing it backwards? This is the big question. But most tech leaders, they chase buzzwords and then there comes AI and cloud, but there is not a clear business alignment, business value. Data sovereignty isn't just compliance, it's like a survival and still a lot of misunderstandings. We have here today Christian, and Christian reveals why cloud sovereignty and strategic alignment aren't optional and why IT follows business and not the other way around. Christian Scholz has spent over 30 years transforming complex IT environments, from pioneering Google's earliest fintech architecture to leading massive cloud migrations. It's like global brands, Microsoft, Lufthansa, Bertelsmann. And today, as VP Cloud at Business at Arvato Systems, he's confronting the urgent realities of data. Over 30 years of experience in software architecture, large-scale cloud migrations, lead architect behind Google Wallet, one of Google's pioneering fintech platforms, and expert for data compliance and the author of the book IT Follows Business. Hey, I think there's a lot more to say, and I couldn't really see where to start and where to stop. But Christian, the question I have for you at the beginning is, what do you believe, based on your experience and whatever you've seen, what is that most people in your industry are still wrong about?
Yes, thank you, Mark, that I can speak here about not a little bit, but I think more. It's more passion and lost over the years come to me that the business is more important as the technical stuff. I'm a deeply, really technical guy. I started coding software and over the years do a lot of very technical stuff. But all over the years, I found out that the most important thing is to create value and know which kind of goal you need to reach. If you see the goal or see the North Star, then you know what to do and the path to the way. Even though there's technical stuff, you create it step by step. And I don't know when this started, but I think somewhere in the area where the hyperscalers started with this cloud offerings, where more and more these buzzwords came into the business and also in the technical guy. We need more cloud. We need reliable. We need all this stuff that came around and say, why? Why you need a cloud? Cloud is just in the first step, just another data center. Why you need this one? Yeah, we need a software defined data center. We need a micro architecture. I would say this is wrong. Sometimes you don't need a cloud. Sometimes you don't need all the new stuff. Think about this one. And then I realized, okay, it's a big hyperscaler. This is the business of them. They need to explain to you why you need to use the cloud, and they're starting to explain to you we have a new feature, and they compete on over the first years just on the technical stuff. But for normal companies that are not completely such a big hyperscalers, the first step is to define what is your strategy, what do you want to achieve in the next 5 years, and then check around left, right, and what kind of technology can help you to achieve your goals. And this is the main focus. And I don't know how many meetings I had about this one, and I struggle all the time. So I explain every time that the first step is really the clear vision, and the clear vision must be a little bit emotion inside, but a little bit also that you can grab. Like for example, I want to become the first player in a cloud market in the next 5 years. So this is something what helps you to shape about the strategy. But if you say, okay, we want to grow in a cloud market, we want to grow in an AI market, what this means? People don't follow you on this one. And I think this is where we should really change, because IT is all around and IT is running in all new businesses. No modern business can run without IT. But this is just a technology. And the first step is really, what do you want to achieve?
But can you maybe elaborate more? Why don't they see that the business comes first? So what's the underlying problem that, just to bring up a few topics, is it that they only see the cost? Is it that they see a lot of resources, it's complexity, it's compliance, it's cybersecurity, and they don't move? Or why is it that difficult? Because from an outstanding or from an outside point of view, it should be very obvious.
Yeah, you mentioned as well, it's complex. IT landscapes are complex. You have old legacy systems which are running over the years, and your core business is running on it. You have new regulations from the outside. You have competitors that arise. They have maybe they are faster because they use different technology, and then you are under pressure and say, okay, why they are faster? And as you are under pressure, and also you hear this in the news or whatever, starting with the cloud, and then we can go to the next step, AI stuff. You hear cloud first, and then you say the first company moved to the cloud. Then you hear they are faster with growing. They can reach new customers. Then you hear all this stuff and over a few times. It's just then you realize, okay, maybe this is a solution for my problems that I have. And then you starting to give your team the order, check this if this is something that helps me to grow in the market, or check the cloud stuff. And then the team started with it, and this explained to you, hey, if we start with cloud, then we need this one, and then you step by step, as the CAO or CIO, realize that your team is moving in this direction. Strategy has never changed. I think this is just the pressure from outside, and everyone says it's urgent, we need to do this. Yeah, this was with the cloud and the AI stuff. OpenAI started with ChatGPT. For the expert, ChatGPT was not nothing new. They had this with the version is 3.0. It was out, and people started with small proof of concept. But then the release is 3.5, and it was just like it it was like a big explosion to everyone. Everyone saw this. What you can do with this one. So many people, so many new companies started to elaborate if this is something what they where they can change their businesses. Micro started with the co-pilots. A lot of advertising was, and so everyone started with thinking, oh, artificial intelligence is very important for me. I need to starting with some of proof of concept. The pressure from outside, the mention in the news, all around you, and this staying calm in this situation, say, okay, let's focus on our strategy and then check a little bit if this is something that can help me. This is what comes now. So we see them. None of this proof of concepts have really generated revenue for the big companies. Even for Microsoft and OpenAI, it's not generating a lot of money. They are still spending a lot of money to bring the services live. Keep calm, concentrate on your strategy is the first step. But this is really, really tough to do this. When you hear so many times about AI and everyone around you says, hey, we need to do this. Your board says this, okay, we need to do something in this area. So after a while, you say, okay, I need to do something here. So then I start with the first proof of concept. And this is, I think, that's the reason. Staying calm is not easy in these times.
No, that's right. And I mean, I can confirm that I also fell in this trap. So I built a company around GPT-2. So I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And so I realized after like months that I basically used the tech, and I was really enthusiastic about this tech, and I built a company around. And this is exactly as you're writing in your new book, right? It shouldn't follow the technology. So first business, and maybe you can help here also what to do to not fall into this trap. Do you have like a step-by-step guide? You now just mentioned a proof of concept is the start, so that you want to achieve something fast and then see if it works. Do you see like how this journey can look like, to maybe a more structured way of approaching to those issues?
I cannot tell you from everyone that this works for everyone, but for me, it works in this way. I need a clear vision. So a clear vision is not too big. So you say, for example, when I started to grow this cloud business in our company, we had problems in the beginning, 2 to 3 times, because the vision was not clear. We were not brave enough to move in some markets, and we had a lot of pressure from our company because you change the way how we work. You're trying to move in a new direction. The clear vision is the first steps. And a clear vision must be like, for example, if you want to achieve something, you say, we define this in this way. We want to become one of the top 3 players in the German market for Microsoft in 5 years. This was a vision. It was clear enough, but have time limits. Behind this mission, we define, okay, what does it mean? to become one of the three top players. Three top players in the German market. Not that you just have 5,000 euro consumption on a cloud. It must be more, because Microsoft is the biggest cloud provider. So this gives you the chance to think about in a bigger way, and then you define a team that focus on this strategy. And everything what comes from left and right, these teams elaborate and check, is this something that helps me to on a way? This was the first thing. Then the clear communication in the company, what you want to do. And also, if new technology arises, and in the cloud area, it arose every week, you have a new technology there. Then what helps also is to define the way, so the strategy to this one. So means in 5 years, we want to achieve this. So you can go backwards to define what kind of steps we need to achieve these worlds, and from the end to the beginning, and then define what kind of risk you have on this way. And one of the biggest risks was, as this was the disruption of our normal business. So we face a lot of problems inside of the company. We say, okay, why we should do this? Cloud is more expensive, and then why we should transform our customers to the cloud. We have the customers, we have our revenue in this one. So disruption was one of the biggest risks here. The second risk was then we focused too on small things that we did before. Therefore, as we saw this risk, as we saw the plan, we could define this in a better way, how we can achieve. And still, you have a lot of to do, and you need to. We had a lot of meetings where we say, okay, nothing works. 5 times we tried to win a tender, it was not working. 7 times we tried to convince our business board to get more money, and we were not successful. You need to keep the passion. You need to keep the focus on this one, and step by step, people around you believe that this starts. And then the first big contract came around. You put your best team on it one, and we were successful after 5 years. 2023, we were among the 2-3 partners for Microsoft.
And when I listen to you, I hear a lot of soft factors in these steps. So you talked about communication, you talked about the risks and the people and the best team. So when I see that, it's like navigating an intense pressure time. So resolving maybe also team conflicts and moments of doubt and vulnerability. How do you convince the people, and like also showing off, like, look, you get every day up and you kind of fight for this goal, this North Star you mentioned. How do you lead through this very tough time?
The first thing is, I believe in people. This is the first thing. Second is, if we define, or if I get a goal to reach it, then I check how many risks we have, real risk, not 20 risk, mostly 5, 6 risk. Doesn't matter how big your strategy, how big your project is. You don't have more than 5, 6 risks which are really important for you, which you take care of. If one of the risks is, for example, in the time frame with this budget, we can never reach this one. So I will never start this project. But if there is a risk, still 20%, you cannot reach it, but it's feasible, then you say, okay, let's try it. And then I put people around me which get on this journey, and that people don't need to know anything about this technology behind it, about this business stuff. You need just these people, and these people give you information about if they think if we can reach this one or not, if we can overcome this risk. So the basis for me is just the people, 4 or 5 people that I completely believed on them, and I trust them. And then doesn't matter my stakeholders, customers, my board. I'm very open and I'm transparent. If we fail somewhere, I explain to them that we fail because of this one, because we make some wrong decision. Any information that I can share, I share honestly with everyone. And then I invite the stakeholders to help us if they think, okay, we are on a wrong way. So help us to find the right way. And I give people the chance to grow in this one. I believe in young people, in people that have power. This is all the time the same way. It doesn't matter if it was as you mentioned, this Google project. So I had 30 persons there, and 3 of them were absolute experts. Some of them were juniors, but with a lot of potential. So if people starting to believe on your goal, then you will be successful. And if people starting not to believe, speak to them honestly. Say, okay, if you don't believe it, leave this project, leave this journey, because You don't need these people there. But be honest to them, say, believe this project or believe it. There is one job description about, I don't know, one of the guys that went to the South Pole. He was searching for people, and his job description for this was, it is very dangerous journey. If you can survive, it's not clear. If we will survive 6 months without any light, very cold. If we survive, maybe we will get a lot of noise in the world, but it's not sure. So he found 6 people. It was not Atmoson, it was another one, or other guy. So very strange, a strange one. Tell the people the truth that this is very hard journey. You will have a lot of problems, but you need this team. Believe in the people, believe in the team.
Interesting. And you just mentioned the project, the Google Wallet, where you were the lead architect. So you're a deep tech guy. And now you're telling us controversially at the first sight, hey, you have to do the business and then the business value, and then the tech comes. So do you have like more hacks or key messages to, let's say, other technical leaders out there, which maybe they often hear, but no one is really telling or saying to that? And I think when you mention brutal, honest feedback to team members, you can also share that one to your counterparts. What do they need to learn?
Hacks is just know your risk, know your goal, believe in your team. These 3 things. But risk is the main important thing. You need to know your risk. If, for example, I'm not a climber, but for example, I want to climb a mountain. The highest risk is that I will fall down and die. And this is a fact. So what I can do to overcome this? Starting climbing, to training, to get a good guide, to get a rope, all this stuff. This is the same what you need to do on the project, and really put the honest risk on it, and say, and in our businesses, the only risk need to be measured in money, and not in somewhere it's high risk, it's the red one, it's very important for us. Doesn't matter. If, for example, you have a strategy and you have 5 million for this one, and the risk is 4 million, don't do it. It can be too dangerous if you cannot find it. But just see risk, and then someone explain to you, hey, this is very high risk. We have a shortage of people. We have a time frame, and they are not calculate this risk by money, really monetary risk. And then it's not a real risk. This is something that is just on a sheet. So risk is the first thing. Clear goal. Believe in your team. Share everything with your team. Give them the help to give the insights if how you can change it. For example, the last project that I took over, we had 4 weeks to finalize and explain to the customer if we can reach the final goal. So there were 4 parts what I did. I changed the team structure. I put 4 people, which I fully believe on them, and do an external review of our architecture itself. The outcome of this one was also shared among the complete team, and I listened to the team, what kind of risks they saw, and what we adapt this plan with the original plan, and explain to the customer, we can reach this goal only when we adapt this plan in this way. And the people member were very surprised that I was so open and honest to them, and explain everything, and I hear on their advice, because I cannot understand everything. I'm just a human, so I need these other brains, this other knowledge.
And I mean, for me, it sounds really senior, and then I hear your experience in this sentence, and I'm just asking myself, would you give the same advice to your younger past, or is it a different one? Like, without the experience you have today, it's maybe, yeah, it's difficult to say, but would it be the same?
It will be the same. And I had this. I had the luck that my first boss was in the same way. He entrusted me. I was 22, and he entrusted me the biggest project that he ever had. So it was a company about 50 persons, and a huge project. And I think he entrusted me because he saw I can do this. But the second part was he had not enough other people. This was the reason. So yeah, I could say I was so happy, and I had so many inspirations that he entrusted me to such a project. And when I was successful with this project, it was super. And this shapes me. Then he did this the second time with another big project. I am doing the same with other people as well. So I put young people in position where they self don't believe they can reach this one, and I by them protect them. I say, okay, don't do it. don't overestimate. Don't do too many hours. Work on this one. In the meantime, you can also do normal stuff. You need to free your brain also a little bit. Don't just focus on this one. But and it works for me. So this is what I learned from my first boss. I do in the same way with my teams.
Christian Scholz, thank you very much for these insights. My last question is about the IT Follows Business book from you. Like, when do I have to read it, and for who is it?
November you will read it, but it's first it started just in German, and the title will be a little different. It's not final defined, but it's about the stories, about few stories of my personal life, few stories of companies that I saw, and in November will be published.
And for who do you recommend it?
Everyone who thinks they are lost as manager in this complex world and see that this world is too complex, too technical. What's need to focus on. There are a lot of leaders in the world that also follow this rules that say, okay, first business and the technology.
Hey, in a time where it happens on the IT landscape that much in a week, which was before like in years, this is definitely a book also for me. So hey, Christian Scholz, thank you very much for being part in this podcast.
Thank you, Mark.